Okay, hello students. In this video we understand about sorting techniques. So sorting is to arrange the list in ascending or descending order. Sorting algorithm specifies the way to arrange data in a particular order. The importance of sorting lies in the fact that data searching can be optimized to a very high level. If data is sorted in a certain manner, sorting is also used to represent data in more readable formats. There are various sorting techniques that can be used to sort the list in ascending or descending order. Here we will discuss two techniques, bubble sort and insertion sort. So sorting is the very important feature of programming, because of if we have 10,000 students marks and we have to identify that which one is the top, which are in the top 10, so we can sort the students marks in descending order, and then we get who achieve the highest marks and who achieve the lowest marks. Another different field, sorting is also very meaningful. So let's start understanding bubble sort. So bubble sort is one of the simple sorting techniques where it traverses the whole list by comparing its adjacent elements, sorting them and swapping the element until the whole list is sorted. It means that in bubble sort algorithm, if we have a list, we have some elements like 21, 53, 10 and 9. So that in bubble sort it start swapping by checking these numbers from starting to end. Bubble sort name according to the bubble design created by when we sort any list through bubble sort algorithm. So sorting is like this, that if 21 is greater than 5, then it exchanges those values. Then it check for next that 21 is greater than 3, so it also exchange again. Then it check 10 is greater than 21, so it also exchange. Then it check that 9 is greater than 21, so it also exchange. So in first pass we get the largest number in the last position. Then again we start this algorithm up to n-1 times till the whole list was unsorted. So let's see the next lines. So algorithm, so read the array elements and store it in array A. Store the length in a variable n, and for I equal to 0, n-1, repeat 5 and 6 steps. So 5th and 6th steps will be repeated for n-1 times. Then in second loop, so there are two loops. First loop for the pass and second loop for the swapping. Then after swapping, if we get that the first number is greater than second, or first index number element is greater than second index number element, then we swap both values, both position values. Then we display the sorted list. So here are some steps are given. So in first step, bubble sort algorithm starts by comparing the first two elements in the list. So first we check the starting two elements. If and only if the first element is greater than the second, these elements will be swapped. So if first element is greater than the second, it will be swapped. This ensures that greater of the first two element is in the second position. In the next step, the second element is compared with the third, and following the same logic, they are swapped if and only if the second element is greater than the third element. With these two steps, it is ensured that the greatest of the first three elements is in the third position. If this process is repeated until the last element, the greatest element will end up in the last position in the list. This completes the first step in bubble sort. After first step gets completed, the largest element in array will get placed in the last position of the list. If there are n element to be sorted, then the process mentioned above should be repeated n-1 times to get the required result. For performance optimization, in second step, last element and the second last element are not compared, since this comparison was already done in the previous step and the last element is already present in its correct position. Similarly, in step 3, second last and third last element are not compared, and so on. So let's see it with the help of an example. So sorting in ascending order using bubble sort. Suppose list is 42, 29, 74, 11, 65 and 58. So here we can see in first pass it will swap, since 29 is less than 42. So it will swap to 29 with 42. After this, it will check in second line that the 42 and 74, so 42 is less than 74, so no swapping as 42 less than 74. In third line, it will swap since 11 is less than 74. In third, it will swap since 65 is less than 74, and in fifth line, it will swap since 58 is less than 74. So the largest element is settled at its correct place at the end. So the first 5 elements from the unsorted part, while the last element forms the sorted part, and will be compared for the next pass. In second pass, we will not check the last element, and starting from the second and first element, we just check, and we need not to swap as 29 is less than 42. In second line or in second loop, we will swap since, or it will swap since 11 is less than 42. In third loop, that we compare 42 with 65 and no swapping because of 42 is less than 65. And in fourth line, we compare 65 and 58 and it will swap, then 58 is less than 65. So the next largest element is settled at its correct place. So the first 4 elements from the unsorted part, while the last 2 elements from the sorted part, and will be compared for the next pass. So let's see the third pass. In third pass, 29 and 11 compared, and it will swap since 11 is less than 29. Then it compare 29 with 42, no need to swap. Then it compare 42 to 58 and no need to swap. In fourth pass, here 58 is settled, that is already settled. In fourth pass, just check the first, we check the first 2 elements and no swapping because of it is as in ascending order. In third, no swapping because of 29 is less than 42. In fifth pass, we just check the first and second element. So here total number of items, say n is 6, so outer loop will be executed in n-1 times, that is 5 times, and there will be 5 passes through the list. For each pass or outer loop iteration, it compares adjacent items and swap those that are not in order. Each pass places the next highest value in its correct place, and there is no need to compare these elements as they are already placed at their correct place. Here a program is given. I also create a program for you. First let's understand this bubble sort program, then we will show you that what I create for you. So here we can see that a function defined using def keyword. The function name is main, and inside the function a list that have 6 elements, and the name of that list is L, and another variable that hold the length of this list. Then we print the original list. After printing original list, we used 2 loops, and first loop is for I in range n-1. So the first loop will be run according to the number of elements. So if number of elements are 6, so it will run 5 times. Number of elements is 8, so it will run 7 times. So whenever the first loop run, another loop inside the first loop, and in second loop we use another variable j, and j in range n minus I minus 1. So whatever the value of here n and I, so first we subtract I from the n, then also 1 from the n. So loop will run according to the n minus I minus 1, and if he found that the first element is greater than the second element of the list, then or the jth element and the j plus 1 element check, and if greater than, then it exchange both values or it swap both values directly, because of in the Python it is possible to swap the values in a single statement. Then after we will print the list after sorting is, and then we show the here our original list and list of sorting is given here. So let's see the program how it will work. Here we can see a program, and this is for bubble sort program. So define bubble sort function and that pass a parameter a1. So whatever parameter that we will pass, it will done the whole sorting process from that parameter. So our first loop is I in range length a1 minus 1 and then 0 and then minus 1. So in this sorting we just run the loop and see that it starts from length a1 minus 1 and then end with 0, and every time the decrement done in this loop. So for I in range I, so the variable in its own range. Here we can see in the function bubble sort where parameter is 1, that in first loop the variable j for running and the range is length a1 minus 1. It means it's depend on the list length and list name is a1, and whatever the length of the list, it will run list minus 1 times, length of list minus 1 times, and end in 0 and decrement by minus 1. So in first loop j variable and in second loop I, and we are range in j, so the second loop depend on the first loop. It means if in the first loop the value of j is length of the list minus 1, so if length is 5, so the first loop's first value is 4 and second loop's variable range is also 4. So for first time when loop run, it will run n minus 1 times, means length of the list minus 1 times the second loop, and second loop when run 1 times when the value of j is decrement and going to be 1. In second loop, every time whenever the loop will run, it will check the value of ith index element of a1 list and I plus 1th element from a2 list, that which one is greater than another. If first value is greater than second, then it will swap those values, then it print the values of list, we assign a value to a1 list, then we print a1 list without sorting. Then after we use bubble sort function on a1 list, then print a1 list again after sorting. Let's run the program and watch the output. So here you can see the first list is unsorted and second list is sorted.